Hello. Today is a solid yes. Big yes. Not an entirely full yes, but a big one regardless. So, let me break it down for y'all. This morning I had to get up kind of early to to run an errand. Let's just call it that. Siren's being a little noisy right now. Siren. No. No. Alright. Where was I? I had to run an errand this morning. Uh, Went out, ran the errand, grabbed breakfast from McDonald's, and then I came back home. Got myself cleaned up, ready again. Oh, but on my way home, I had an idea for the arc of one of the stories I'm working on, and when I got home, I wrote that down before I cleaned myself up. So I did writing today. So that was nice. Good plot development for later on in the series. Once I get around to that, right? Siren, stop pawing outside your kennel. No. Yeah, let's go, boy. Alright, so after that, I cleaned myself up, and then I kind of lingered for a few more moments before leaving again to run the other errands I meant to run today. See, there's two things I wanted to do, two main things, and those two things were get more dog food and get a haircut because my hair's been pretty long lately. I left the house. I got to the place where I get my dog food. But right next to that's a little grocery store. And there are some particular chocolates in that grocery store that I like that we haven't had in a sec. Unfortunately, I was in too much of a hurry and I didn't grab the ones I was looking for. But I did grab, chocolates. They look almost identical to the ones I was looking for, but I didn't give them too much of a look. I was looking for a certain word on the label and a certain color of label and the certain shape of the box, and I wasn't paying attention to the rest of what I was looking for on that front. So I still got some tasty treats, but not the tasty treats I was looking for. So a little disappointment on that part. But regardless, after that I went straight and got my dog food and came back around and left from that place. Now, I went on a bit of a detour from that place and I grabbed a couple things. Otherwise, you see, I'm playing D&D, right? I'm playing D&D every now and again. Tomorrow night's was canceled already. But I wanted to familiarize myself with some of the monsters because the people I'm playing with who've played before seem to have a background knowledge of many of these monsters that we're going up against, and I've been left clueless every time. Well, I started out as clueless and mainly just had to worry about trying to get the hit points down, right? The health points, whatever it is. Point of this being, I went and I looked up, see if there's any D&D shops nearby the place, and turns out there were. And in fact, there was on the way to the haircut place. And so I went and stopped there. Place that sold a bunch of, tabletop game hoo-ha stuff. And I went and I was looking for a couple things. One would be like a dice rolling tray, so I've got some hard dice and it's not very good on like a wood table or a glass table or anything like that, anything that could be dented or broken. So it's good to have like a leather dice tray sort of thing, or just any kind of dice tray to cushion that blow so it doesn't hurt what's beneath it. Not that I needed to worry about that on the tables that we've been playing on. They've just been, casual foldable tables. Regardless, I wanted to get something that I could roll my dice in anytime. And I did. But it wasn't a dice tray. It wasn't the thing I had in mind to begin with. What I ended up getting is a fancy little dice tower. Basically, it unfolds. It's just a little box thing that unfolds, and you put it on the table. The dice go in the top hole, and they come out into the little tray, and it's pretty great. There's just like 3 little ramps. They go back and forth down the ramp, rolling a random number in the process, and not only is it someplace safe to roll harder dice or more fragile dice, if you're fancy, but it also helps you get random numbers better. More random, more RNG in that case, because sometimes when you're rolling dice, you just roll the same stuff over and over again. And I tested it earlier. It's very, much more random than my rolls tend to be. They do tend to be random still, but sometimes they can get consistent, and that's weird. That's not the point of dice. And so I've got the dice tower now. But I don't think I'm going to use it for a minute, right? Here's my thought here, because on the table we've been using, and we've all been rolling our own dice. Every now and again, dice will just go all the way off the table onto the floor, and people will be like, "Oh, where'd my dice go?" So the next person who offends that particular accident, I'm just going to pull out my secret dice tower and be like, "Here, you get this now." This thing, it does the rolling for you, and it's not going to go off the table this way. So there you go. Have fun with that. I might have to wait for a few sessions, but I'm pretty sure it's happened once every session or ish so far. So maybe not. Maybe I'll just bust it out anyway, just because I want to use it, because it is fun to use. It's not that complicated. It's not that aesthetic in design. It doesn't look like a castle or dragon or anything like that. But it's a fancy little dice tower, and I like it. The other thing I got, like I was talking about the monsters, right? I was talking about the monsters. I got a book that describes the monster. I got this book. Hi, you can see my haircut now. But I got this book, and it's a cool little monster manual book for Dungeons and Dragons. And through this, I can look up any monster that I don't know about. Probably after I've encountered it, so that I have a better idea of what that monster is. And this book might not contain all the monsters that we come across, because there are other books with different monsters and stuff like that. As I said. So yeah, I can use that as a resource, or just, inspiration, I guess, for anything else. I might include some creatures I encounter in that book from in just like any a story I write or something like that, just because there's loads in there to work with, and that might be interesting. Also, since I showed you my haircut earlier, I can show you the dice tower. This is the dice tower. It's a little box thing, and it opens on one side here. Magnets, right? Versus magnets, and this is the way it sits on the table. Dice go on the top and fall out into the tray. It's really, really nice, really fun. Just magnets shut. And it can be like a dice box too. Lately I've been using this pouch, and I'm going to keep using this pouch because I like the pouch. But I can store dice in here if I so desire. And that's fun. But yeah, that was my little detour to the haircut. and I went and got a haircut, as you can see. And then I came back home. Once I got home again, I brought all my stuff in, walked my dog and such. I haven't really done anything else, really, you know. Oh, no, you know what I did? I played that game. I've been scrolling through Instagram a bit, and I've seen clips on Instagram and YouTube of this new game that's in early access right now, called Mage Arena, and it's this proximity voice chat game where you can use the voice chat feature to like cast spells, and many of them are based on D&D, if not all of them. So it's like if you open up your spell book and it's on like the fireball page and you say fireball into the mic, your character in game casts fireball and it shoots to whichever direction you're pointing, and you use that to battle against other teams of wizards and stuff, and it's super fun. I really liked it. I played that with my friend for a short while, but I kept disconnecting my poor internet and all that. But it was still fun. I enjoyed it. The what else? Yeah, after that I had dinner and just kind of hung out, watched some TV, and now I'm here. Since my haircut, I haven't washed all or as much, anything. I haven't washed out my head, because when you get a haircut, you wash your hair so that as many remaining hairs as you can get that are loose in your head can get washed out, and I haven't done that yet. So that's one more thing I'm going to do tonight while this is uploading. Take a quick little shower. But yeah, so technically, I did some reading in the Book of Monsters when I got it, and I did some writing earlier when I was like, when I had an idea for stories, and I didn't do any drawing. I didn't make any videos. I didn't upload the video I made yesterday. So now that's just kind of chilling there, and it still has to be uploaded. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the Deltarune videos. I like that. But yeah, it was a full day today. It was real nice. Tomorrow is a day of work, and no D&D after work this time. So we'll see what we do. Probably be some reading, writing, drawing. Who knows? I've had a pretty consistent break from my Game of Thrones book, and I got to get back on that, of course. Not because it's a responsibility, but because I like to read, and reading often puts me in the mood to write. And that's good. Kind of gets my word brain going, because books have big old words on them. Stuff like that. Big old books, big old words. But yeah, that's today and tomorrow. Here's the dog. Tyron's been very good today. He's munching on his name tag again. But he's been shedding lately too. Past few days, yeah. Lots of fluff coming out of his fur. I tried to brush him earlier and he did not seem to like it very much. Oh well. But he's still being the same adorable pupper. Seeks out affection very frequently. Pops up to you and just kind of looks at you. Gets up on you, smells your breath. Like he'll go out of your way to smell what's on your breath. See what you've been eating. But he's so very soft, so very fluffy. It's very fun to pet. That's everything today. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share with me your thoughts in the comment section below, and share me with your friends, family, etc. Anyone you know that you think might be interested in my content, please help me expand my channel. I'd very much appreciate it. I checked the other day, or last I checked, we were up to 188 subscribers, which is climbing. it's been on a sort of a decline of inclination. Tongue twister there. But yeah, not getting more subscribers as fast, but I am getting more subscribers still. So thank you all for that. I appreciate it. Good night.